if you've been following us, you've noticed that we're taking a journey through business. So first we showed you guys about nav.com and the tools that they provide to help you set your business entity up. We talked about some of the free resources and free learning from the Small Business Association that's out there. And the next thing that you're going to need in just about every small business, you're going to have to understand business credit. Now, business credit is very similar to your personal credit. They still look at, do you pay bills on time? I mean, understand, no matter what a logarithm any credit bureau has, that's the first thing they're going to look at. Do you pay your bills on time? Okay. But I think looking at how the models are scored in business, that is number one. So I'm not telling you to pay your personal bills late, but I'll tell you, do not pay your business bills late. Okay.
Do not pay your business bills. No.
Don't pay them late. Don't do that. Well, their scoring model is different. So just back to some basics. I know some people, I've been asked to, like, can you tell me about this Paydex score? What is that? Okay. So one of the things that you're able to do through nav.com is sign up to get your Dun & Bradstreet number. Now, I believe before we talked about if you've already been in business for a while, you probably already have one assigned. And that's probably because someone tried to run a credit report on your business. So you're going to probably get one, because anything that you're going to do for your business, most places are going to try and pull up a business credit report. And FYI, it doesn't work the same way as your personal credit report. Like if I go and decide I want to apply for a credit card, well, the company has to have permission.
Oh, okay.
To do that. You know, you go to a car dealership. They get ready to, run your credit, to run it through all the banks. Well, you normally have to sign something that says you give that permission. You don't get the same type of situation with business credit.
Right.
You don't have the Fair Trade, the Fair Consumer Trade Act. Yeah, that is for consumers that are personal, not business. Okay. So because of that, you do want to take a look at your business credit report. There are ways to do that for free under nav.com. You're going to hear nav.com talked about all throughout this because they have resources. Look in our descriptions. You'll see the link there that you can sign up. Dun & Bradstreet is basically a credit bureau, just like Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, like it is for your personal credit report. Their score model name is called Paydex, similar to FICO.
Okay.
Like, what's my FICO score, or your Beacon score that one of the other places uses, and I believe there's another one that I can't remember. I think it's like an Advantage score or something like that. All that really is just the name of the model that they're using to do that for. That's really all that is. Now, the thing that is very different with the Paydex score, it's very simple. It goes from 1 to 100. That's it. Okay. That's it. There is no, optimal for your personal credit, you want to be like 690. 690 can make moves, you know what I mean? Right. That lets you apply for stuff and get it instantly, Yeah. But for business credit, the scoring model goes from 1 to 100. That's it. Okay. Where you want to be is at least 80.
80. Okay. So that's
80. That's your golden ticket number, because having your score at 80 means that your payment comes in on time.
Okay.
The lower the slower you are to pay on time, the lower that number is. So if you're in like a 50 to 70 range, that means you're anywhere between 15 days to 30 days beyond being current.
Okay.
So that's looked at as a higher risk.
Okay.
A much higher risk. That's just how it's going to be. So if you're in that 50 range, you want to check your report, because first of all, there could be errors. Let's just be real how this works. Check your report. That can be done for free on nav.com. You can check your report. Or you could maybe not have anything on the report.
Right.
So if you don't have anything on the report, you still get a score. You get like a 50.
Oh, okay.
Like that, because you have nothing to have report on you. So you're kind of in the middle, where they just want to take a chance because they don't really know. And that's when you get into where people get asked to be like a personal guarantor on whatever loan that they're signing up for. That's very common. That's common to be asked to guarantee a loan personally for a business, because the bank won't get paid.
Right.
So if your business starts to slip in their payments, they're gonna come talk to you about their payments.
Right.
Essentially, you're co-signing for your business.
Okay.
Essentially. So go ahead.
What are some, like, a couple of ways people can start to establish their business? So let's say they go on NAB and they've got a 50. What are some ways that they can go establish some business credit that doesn't necessarily, like, we're talking about on a shoestring small business?
Oh, perfect. Actually, that's where nav.com comes in, because they have, when you go under and you put everything in your profile, they'll have suggestions that will pop up at places that you're like, oh, I didn't realize. One of the places is Uline. Now, Uline, that's I call that like an office supply place. Once you sign up at Uline, like every other month, you're going to get this book in the mail of office supplies. Okay. However, setting up an account with them is simple. I actually have an account with them under my business because I order my boxes through them.
Okay.
We order our shipping boxes. Now I do keep a lot of boxes here, but like I have certain products where I need a certain type of box.
Yes.
The box to ship in. So they're very good for that.
Okay.
I believe they have, they have like a net 30 term. So they'll send you a payment, send you a request for payment. You go ahead and you pay it, and they report it.
Now, you brought up a very interesting term. What is net 30?
All right. So net 30 is going to mean after their billing cycle, you have 30 days to pay it.
Okay.
So really, it gives you a long time to pay the bill.
Yeah. If you need those resources to actually make sales, then you got 30 days to, bring back some money so you can pay for your stuff.
Exactly. And they're great for supplies. Also there's things in there that especially in their book, I'm like, oh, they sell that. But if you think about if you're in an office setting, it's good to have that. Like they'll have things for snacks, things like that. So setting up an account like that is simple and easy. You don't even have to go outrageous with what you buy. You can just see something that you're going to need.
Okay.
Pay. You don't even have to pay it off. You just pay what's owed, and follow suit with that. After several months of that, the way that reports, once you start moving from that 50 to that 80, that puts you in much, much, much better terms.
Is Uline, like, do they report to Dun & Brad's, or
Yes,
is
they
that?
do.
Oh, okay. So that's the benefit of opening up an account with them. They'll report.
Exactly.
And then
Now, exactly. Now,
okay.
if for some reason you're like, yeah, that doesn't really flow for what my business is.
Right.
So the next thing that I would suggest, and I personally have done this, is getting a secured business credit card.
Okay.
So that does require money up front. Most banks, it may be as low as like $200 to maybe $300. I did it with $500.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in my application for the business, gave them my $500, and poof, I got a credit card. I will tell you, it is nice to have a business credit card, not just a business debit card.
Right.
Okay. You can make moves with that sometimes in certain situations. Because sometimes, especially now that things are changing in banking, you may have spending limits on your debit card. You may have to call, go in and say, I'm conducting business, so I'm spending money. And then they say, some places are nice about it, some aren't, according to who you bank for. It's all according to who you bank for. When it comes to a credit card, there is no daily spending limit. As long as you got the credit available, you can use it.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm not telling you to go ahead and spend up to your limit. I don't feel that's a good idea. Because keep in mind, you still got to pay it off, and understand the interest rates are not going to be similar to what you would get for a personal credit card.
Right.
These are insane rates because they're not regulated the same way. So keep all of that in mind. And I did this with a very well-known national financial institution. So, and honestly, a lot of times that I find, especially when dealing with banking, you may not always know the products that your financial institution offers.
Okay.
Now, I happen to know just a tiny bit because I've worked in banks. So I know those things are offered. So I sat down with the guy, told him what I wanted to do. Said I want to apply for a secured business credit card. He seemed real happy to handle that transaction for me. Because it's an easy sell for them, because really it's not a guarantee you'll be approved, but more than likely, unless you have things that are just really bad, something where it would be a credit risk, something more like on the bankruptcy side. If it's something that is, especially if you're still going through it and it has been discharged, that's probably the only time in my banking career I've ever seen a person not get approved for a secured card.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In all my years of banking, if a person came in to do something secured, provided their identity was right, because we got to worry about that these days, provided that was right, they were able to get the item that they wanted, because it's secured by the money that you put up. So especially for those who are like, oh, I don't need those type of products, or they look at the list of places that NAV may put up there, to me, that would be your next step. Contact your bank, and it doesn't even have to be a lot of money. I can tell you at my bank, after having a good payment schedule, they upped my limit and turned my card from being secured to unsecured. So I got my money back.
Okay, so now it's a traditional credit card.
Exactly. Okay. I got my money back, and because they put the money in a savings account, now keep in mind it's banking, so it wasn't a lot of interest. I made a couple dollars off my $500. I think it was $3.
Every dollar adds up.
Exactly. So it was like $3 I made. But considering, $500 sitting in a savings account for 1 year is not bad, actually.
Not really.
Actually, it's not bad. So I was, and I didn't even ask for it to be done. Some places you can apply for that to happen after a certain amount of time. Just automatically, they have something within their system that looked at my payment history and said, oh, she can go, this business, not she, this business can go from being secured to unsecured. And that was done, I would say less than a year that was done. And that threw me for a loop because I got the check before I got the letter. And I was like, I was scared at first because I didn't know what this was for. I'm like, what are they giving me this check for? Because, when I get checks in the mail, I cash them.
Yeah.
So,
talking about that, right?
Yeah. I don't hold checks. Yeah, I don't do that. So if you send me a check, it's going to get cashed. Like that day. So I called them up and was like, and I saw where it was from, and I was like, okay, this is the name of my business. The only thing that I just couldn't figure it out. So I called them. They were like, oh, congratulations. We've moved your secured card to an unsecured card. So we sent you back your deposit. Oh, okay. Thank you. And then literally I got a letter like the next day explaining that. But I'm happy that I got the check first.
Right. I just wanted to kind of add as far as mindset that you have to kind of adopt when you go into this. If you're offering products, services, and you're thinking, well, I don't know if I need business credit. Basically, if I don't make a profit, I'll just put my profits back into the business or whatever. That'll work for a while. But at some point, if you want to make that jump from just being, I'm selling out of my house to maybe this is something that could turn into something that could support my family or start to support my family, you got to consider business credit because you're using somebody else's money to help finance your business and hopefully help it grow. If you have a good idea and you believe in it, then stand by it. Business credit is almost like, it's kind of an idea of like, I'm investing in my business. I'm investing in myself. And if you're doing good work, it should grow. And then that investment is going to help it grow. Just as long as you do what Tiffany says, you make sure you pay that first, pay that back first, because you don't want to be a business credit risk. You don't want to be a person with bad business credit because that's even worse than having bad personal credit. So
they'll look at you like, oh, you want a card?
Right. Yeah. It's a mindset. It is a mindset. Yeah.
It definitely is a mindset.
Like a professional, right?
Yes. And it's funny because I think I was more on top of I'm more on top of my business credit than I think I am on my credit because I know the importance and have seen, because there are times it's not just even about getting financing. If you want to maybe do a business deal with somebody.
Right. Yeah.
They may pull up your Dun & Bradstreet report and say, let's see how they pay their bills.
Right. Yep. Do I really want to get involved with these people?
Exactly. Because think about how personal credit is used against you, so to speak. Yeah. They look at it as, are you being responsible with your credit? Well, are you being responsible with the business credit? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at it. You just never know what you may need it for, because it may not just be for funding. You just never know. Maybe you might get an investor. Yes. Yep. You might get an investor. They might say, well, your score is a 20. Why? Yeah. So what you plan on doing with the money when I give it to you? They're going to look at that. That is something they're definitely going to look at to see what is going on with this business. Right. And that, unfortunately, it's a reflection on you sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Just a small anecdote. My very, very first business, I started like 20 years ago when the internet was new. Or not new, but not as old. But
it was new for us.
It Right. And people were just starting to, e-commerce was just really starting. I had a t-shirt business, and it wasn't like a dropship t-shirt. I was actually designing the t-shirts, designing the graphics. I had a heat press machine. Oh, those were the days, right?
Oh, you was doing it.
I was doing it, yeah. Designing them. Remember when people were wearing the blinged out t-shirts and stuff? Yeah, I was making those. I bought Swarovski crystals, did a design, and then I would heat press them on a t-shirt. Very cute, very cute. So I got an opportunity. So this was when back out in Hollywood, when they're having a premiere of a movie, and then all the actors come, they get swag bags, right? And this was when they were really promoting them. Like you'd look on Entertainment Tonight, and it would be like, what was in the swag bag? Oh, a $10,000 camera, or this, or this newest thing, or this perfume was in the swag bag, and they would be showing what was in the swag bag. And people were coming up off of these swag bags, because if you could get your product in the swag bag, that and then Beyonce sees it, or Scarlett Johansson is seen wearing it, your business would balloon just from that, because everybody be like, where did Beyonce get that t-shirt? And, they'd come to your website and be like, oh, I need it, right? So a woman contacted me from a company that did the swag bags, and she said, saw one of your designs. We would love to have it in our swag bag. And I was like, whoa, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, sure. She's like, okay, well, this is what we need to do the deal. You're going to need to be able to provide 500 t-shirts. And now they're not paying me for this. So you're going to need to provide 500 t-shirts, send them out to us, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, this is where the mindset, because I'm like, there's no way in heck I'm going to be able to provide 500 t-shirts. I'm just making them as needed, right? Hold on, there I go again. Let's see. I'm just making them as needed. So I'm like, I had to turn down the deal, because I couldn't provide. I didn't have any business credit. I didn't even know what business credit was at that point, because I was just buying t-shirts, designing, putting them up on my website. But like 500 t-shirts, even though had one person, a Beyonce, a Halle Berry, because these were like, African American female t-shirts. I had girls with Afro puffs and with like crystals and stuff. So had any one of them just been seen out getting some Starbucks with my t-shirt on, that it would have driven traffic to my website. I might be a millionaire by now. But because I didn't have any knowledge of business credit, didn't have any access to it, I didn't even know it was a possibility. I had to turn down the deal because I couldn't fill the order. Even if I'd have gotten the money together to get the 500 t-shirts to give them free, that to me, that would have been a valuable investment. Sometimes even providing a free product to somebody that's going to get put on a person like Beyonce or Halle Berry or whoever was popular 20 years ago. It's just like them being seen. That's free. Well, it cost me 500 t-shirts, but that's promotion I wouldn't have been able to afford.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
and
that
today
was
even more
expensive lesson, so to speak, to learn. Because think back on it now, I'm like, or when I used to think back on it, I was like, that could have been an opportunity of a lifetime, but I had to pass it up because my lack of knowledge and my inability to use somebody else's money to finance my dream, so to speak. So that's just something to consider, cautionary tale, that, being able to access business credit, have it, you can catapult your business from being something that you're just doing at your kitchen table to something where you're providing t-shirts to the stars, and you're getting $100 a t-shirt. Yeah. So.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't tell everybody that all my kids. But this is Entrepremommies, so this is where we're supposed to do. Right?
Yeah, I did not know that. That's wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of those. I wish I would have, could have, should have.
Right.
Yeah.
So I really hope someone takes a listen to what you just said and realizes things that they can do in their business. And when an opportunity presents itself, you're still able to market and work off of that opportunity. Because who could say what could have happened? I mean, because even in today's world, we all know how social media works. Soon as someone wears something, like you said, going to get some coffee, paparazzi takes the picture, it's all over Instagram. Everyone go, oh, I want that shirt. Yeah. Where did I get that shirt at? Then it's a mad search for the outfit. I remember watching I forget what the name of the show was. Oh, Scandal. Yeah. I remember when that used to come on, and you could see the tweets later telling you where you can get the clothing that was worn on the show.
Because her outfits were fierce. Yes.
Girl, yes, they were. I ain't gonna lie, I like that white coat. That white coat. Yeah. Them outfits were fierce. But if you think, we talking about a TV show, a character that ain't real, and we're like, oh, I want them clothes. And that was a whole nother marketing avenue for, I think it was like New York and Company that they partnered with for the clothing. Think about what that did for them. It's like, this dress was on Olivia. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, because these people are icons. There are style icons, and we see them looking, be like, I want to wear that. So imagine if you are selling a product that one of these icons has on. I mean, that could turn. Remember, even with Oprah's favorite things. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, she still does it.
Oh, some people's products, it would bankrupt the business being on Oprah's favorite things because they couldn't fill the orders.
Yes. I think I saw something on like Shark Tank. There was a company, they came, to present themselves, and they had like a big uptick in sales. And I remember one of the Shark Tank people saying, what happened that you got this big uptick? And she was like, we were on Oprah's favorite things list.
Yep.
That sets you off.
That can set you off.
There are people working to get on Oprah's favorite things list right now.
Yeah.
Because it still comes out. I believe, I think I've seen it on The View in the past. And think about the features. She got the magazine. She has things that come out, showing them, man, think about the exposure.
Yes.
That gives you. So you have to be ready when you get that type of exposure, you got to be ready for the demand, because, you can't have your website fall off the critical face of the earth, because especially in this day and age, that's how people are going to find you. They're going to find you online. So you can't have them type in the name of your product or the name of your company and be like, I don't think that's them. Is that right? Them? I don't know. That don't look
Search engine optimization. You have to have those keywords.
Yeah. Yes. So, very informative. I really hope that someone takes heed of what you talked about today and utilizes that in their business, because that's going to help somebody.
Yeah. And particularly if you're like a crafter, or if you're somebody who makes their own products, there is, you never know. Let's just go down the lane a little bit and think about it. You make something that's unique to you, expresses your personality, but then you put it out for market. Why wouldn't it resonate with somebody? You don't think movie stars get on the internet and search for things for their individual hobbies? And they're the ones who have the I guess the star qualities that could sell your product. It could just be something, simple. It's really happens like that. So you never know who could be looking at your stuff. So it's very important to, like you said, make sure that your website can handle the capacity. Make sure you're working on those keywords. Make sure you're working on those things. And these are all things that we can help with. These are things that we know about because we've done it on our own scale. But things to consider, that's what Entrepremommies is about. We can help you think about those things that you're not thinking about, because maybe you're a crafter, you're a creator. That's what your focus is. that's what you should focus on.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we could say, hey, why don't you do this with that and put it there? So, consider that. Yeah.
Very, very good. Very interesting.